Welcome to Stratocaster Sound. We're Lincoln's local rock show, and you guys are obviously one member of Kids with Glass Houses.
I am Kids with Glass Houses.
That's it, just you, no one else. So you want to introduce yourself to the people you don't know?
I'm Sheehy. I play bass guitar in Kids with Glass Houses.
Okay, so your album's being released on Monday the 30th. Please. How's the whole album process?
It's been pretty stress-free on this one, yeah, I think. The actual recording of the album was pretty straightforward. We spent about 3 and a bit weeks in Lincoln, actually, not far from, well, yeah, I guess it's about 40 minutes from here. I can't remember the exact name of the town. Little village outside.
Grimsby?
No.
Okay, someplace.
No, yeah.
Let's say Lincolnshire.
Yeah,
Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
We were kind of out very much out of the way and just really focusing on the songs and making the album sound as good as we possibly can, and yeah, it was quite a good laugh. Yeah.
Is there anything you would change about the process, about the album, if you could just redo it?
No, not really. Maybe ask me in like 6 months' time.
How does the album differ from your previous one, like Smart, Casual, In Gold and that?
With this one, we sort of we were a lot more prepared going into the studio. We had like all the songs written. Like on In Gold, we kind of, I suppose we had about 50-60% written before we went into the studio, and so it was quite a stressful process recording In Gold. But this one, we sort of had it all prepared, and we knew we sort of wanted to kind of experiment a bit more with more of a synth element to the songs, and yeah, I guess that's something we'd never really done before. So yeah, we just kind of wanted to get a different sound on this record and make it kind of sound a bit more fresh and a bit more dancey, I guess.
You've also been streaming your album as well, and you've released singles. Is it Drive?
Yeah.
Drive and Peace. What would you say your fans' reaction to that's been?
Yeah, I think it's been really good. I mean, a lot of people are kind of saying it's like a return to form kind of thing, and whereas like on the last album, I think we kind of alienated a lot of our core fan base with the sound of that, and I think a lot of people are kind of refreshed and kind of pleased that we've kind of come up with this sort of the sound on this album and the songs, and yeah, it's been generally really positive.
Yeah. You also changed record labels.
Yeah.
From Roadrunner to
Transmission.
Transmission.
Yeah.
Why was that?
Like the sort of Roadrunner in the UK sort of like ceased operating, I guess. They kind of changed. Sort of, I don't know. So they stopped working, and then we kind of just the Transmission label a label. They're like sort of part of our publishing company.
Yeah. So
they kind of already had a vested interest in us, and yeah, it just kind of made sense for us to kind of go and work with them guys. Yeah. You
also teamed up with Pledge Music. What was that like? Could you just explain for those who might not know, what is it?
It's basically we'd heard other bands kind of using Pledge to kind of fund their album. We weren't really interested in doing that, but we kind of liked the way that they kind of had all these like pre-order packages for the album.
Right.
So we kind of used that to kind of took advantage of that, and so we sort of sold our album with varsity jackets and bundles and screen prints, and we sold like some like stuff from the studio and all that with the album, kind of it's like an incentive for people to buy the album and stuff, and we just generally use it as a massive like pre-order kind of scheme, I guess, but yeah.
So what would you say the advantages are for that?
It just gives people more of an incentive to like buy your music and buy your music before it comes out, kind of thing. Do you know?
Yeah.
If you had to sell peas on one song off the whole album, which track would it be?
At the moment, I'd say VIP, because that's just my favourite at the moment. But if you ask me in like 2 weeks' time, I'll probably say another song.
What does music mean to you, would you say?
It's pretty much everything. It's just it's a massive part of my life. It's something that I've always enjoyed, like listening to and making music, and yeah, it's just I don't really know where I'd do if I wasn't this heavily into music. Yeah.
What are your like influences?
Musically, the band I sort of grew up listening to, and this sort of inspired me to like kind of be in a band and start playing music for myself, was a band called Stereophonics. They were like the first band I ever saw live, and yeah, just fell in love with them from the age of about 8, I guess.
If you went in a band, what would you be doing instead?
I don't know, I got asked that same question yesterday.
Oh,
I don't know what, I don't really know what I'd be doing.
If the zombie apocalypse was to happen, what is your plan for it?
Told you not to ask that.
This is the one question I slightly get back from asking, but I'm like, no, I'm going to ask it.
I wasn't asked that question yesterday.
No, fresh.
I don't know what I do. I go live on the water, get a boat.
That's an answer.
Well, you might get it on the way, not sure.
I've not heard that one before. Who would you say's got the worst touring habits out of all your bandmates?
Probably me.
Yeah?
No, I don't know, I'm not too sure who's got the worst, but I think Joel's got the best touring habits. He's kind of very regimented in his routines, and he like, gets up and works out every day, and just like refuses to eat any of the junk, and he just looks after himself really well on tour, and I'm kind of the absolute opposite.
So he's a good influence.
That is a dedication.
Yeah, I just sleep a lot.
What's your favourite song to play live?
As I say, the new track off the album piece, VIP, is my favourite track to play live, but unfortunately I'm not playing it tonight because it got taken off the set list.
Oh, because of Alex's voice?
No, his voice is holding up really well. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just that we kind of rejigged it, and I didn't have the final say. they outvoted me tonight, so we're not playing it tonight. We might play it. We'll probably play it again. I think.
What would you say to new bands that are coming out? What advice would you give them?
Just write the best songs you possibly can and try your best to get people to hear them. That's pretty much all you can do, I guess.
How much do you think media's influenced you?
How do you mean?
Like the media, how helpful has the media been, like your PR company?
Yeah,
and
good. I mean,
Twitter and the social networking. Like how's that help?
Social networking. From the time we started the band, it's kind of come on leaps and bounds, and you kind of have to sort of adapt with it and kind of use it to what it's there for, kind of thing. And I think it's very beneficial at getting your name out there and letting people know when you're on tour and all that. But sort of you have to kind of have the whole package. You can't just rely on having a big Twitter following to kind of get people into your music. You kind of have to cover all the bases, I guess.
Just thinking about a local aspect, you were back in Tokyo earlier in the year when you were here.
Yeah.
What would you say the Lincoln crowds are like for you guys?
They were great, yeah. It was a very small show. I mean, we're doing it, I think it was like a warm-up for I forget what it was for. It was for a festival or something. But yeah, it was a really good show. Yeah, that was the first time we'd ever played in Lincoln.
I was at that show.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really good. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Thanks.
Thanks for your time.
And good luck for the rest of your tour.
You too.